Cargo ship, middle of nowhere. China to Iran. Routine voyage. Then at 3 a.m., helicopters appeared. US Special Forces dropped onto the deck. They found something that shouldn't exist. And what they did next makes zero sense. Until you understand what's really happening, here's what nobody's telling you. This wasn't a random inspection. US intelligence tracked this ship for weeks. They knew exactly what was on board, and they knew where it was going. The question isn't what they found. The question is why they let it continue. Because what happened after the raid, that's what should terrify you. Let me show you something the media missed. November 2024. This cargo ship gets raided. December 2024. A Venezuelan oil tanker seized same month. Multiple other interdictions. Wait, this isn't isolated. This is a pattern. For the first time in years, America is boarding ships in international waters, no permission. And the countries involved? All the same ones. China, Iran, Venezuela. Russia's allies. This isn't law enforcement. This is something else entirely. Now here's where it gets personal. Imagine you're a shipping crew. You're just doing your job. Suddenly armed commandos drop from the sky. You have no warning, no defense. They search your cargo for hours. Then they just leave. Would you take that route again? Exactly. And that's the whole point. Now let me tell you what they found. Container 247 inside. High-grade industrial equipment. Looks boring. Sounds legal. But here's the problem. Every single item had dual-use capability. Translation, build a factory or build missiles. Guidance systems, advanced circuitry, precision tools, the exact components Iran needs for weapons, the exact stuff China promised they'd never send, and the US caught them red-handed. But here's what makes this absolutely infuriating. International law says you can't just board ships. You need permission. You need jurisdiction. The US had neither. They did it anyway. China's foreign ministry went ballistic. "This is piracy," they screamed. "This violates international law." And you know what? They're technically right. America broke the rules, but America doesn't care. Because they're playing a different game, a game where rules don't matter anymore. And that should scare you, not because of what happened to this ship, but because of what it means for everything else. Let me paint you the full picture. You're a shipping company in Shanghai. You just got a lucrative contract. Transport goods from China to Iran. Legal contract, legal cargo, legal route. You load your ship, you hire your crew, everything's by the book. Then one night, US commandos appear. No warning, no negotiation. They board your vessel with weapons drawn. They search everything, document everything. Your crew is terrified. Your cargo is photographed. Your reputation is destroyed. And there's nothing you can do about it. You're in international waters. You followed every law. But America decided you're a threat. Now here's the part that should enrage you. After all that, after seizing evidence of weapons technology, after proving sanctions violations, they let the ship go. They just let it sail away to Iran, its original destination, with most of its cargo still on board. Wait, what? You board a ship illegally, you terrorize the crew, you find exactly what you were looking for, and then you do nothing? That makes zero sense. Unless it was never about this ship. Oh no, it's so much worse than that. Here's what's actually happening. And once you understand this, everything clicks. The US didn't want to stop one shipment. They wanted to stop hundreds. Think about it like this. You're a shipping company right now. You just watch the news. US forces boarded a ship in the middle of nowhere. They can strike anywhere. Anytime. International law doesn't protect you. Your question isn't, will they stop my ship? Your question is, can I afford the risk? And that's when you cancel the contract. That's when you reroute your vessels. That's when you tell Iran, sorry, not worth it. One raid, one night, one crew terrorized. Result? Dozens of shipping companies changed course. Insurance rates for Iran routes skyrocketed. New contracts dried up completely. China-Iran trade dropped in 1 month. This wasn't military action. This was psychological warfare, and it worked perfectly. The US didn't need to stop every ship. They just needed to prove they could. They needed shipping companies to stop themselves. And that's exactly what happened. Suddenly, the letting it go makes sense, right? The ship wasn't the target. The fear was the target. One operation, unlimited impact. That's not just smart, that's terrifyingly effective. Now you understand the game. But here's what should keep you up at night. If America can do this to China, if they can do this to Iran, they can do this to anyone, your country, your trade, your economy. International law used to mean something. Now it's just a suggestion. And the scariest part, other countries are watching. Russia saw this, they're taking notes. China saw this, they're planning counter moves. What happens when everyone plays by these new rules? What happens when nobody respects boundaries? We just entered a new era where power matters more than law, where fear is more effective than force, and where your rights mean nothing. If someone bigger decides they don't, that's the real story here. Not one ship, not one raid, but the death of the old rules and the birth of something much more dangerous. So here's my question for you. Is this genius strategy or dangerous precedent? Should America have done this? Or did they just open Pandora's box because other countries will copy this? And when they do, who's the victim? Comment your honest take below. I genuinely want to know what you think. And if this story changed how you see the world, hit subscribe right now, because this isn't the only secret nobody's talking about. We expose the real story every single week. The one the news won't explain properly. Remember that Venezuelan tanker I mentioned? That story is even crazier. Trump personally threatened the country's president, called him next on the list. Then US forces seized the ship anyway. And what they did with it changes everything you thought you knew. That video drops next. You need to see it. I'll see you there.